In this video, I will be comparing the JAVS Suite 8 desktop applications to the new browser-based Suite 9. If you have never used Suite 8, please check out our Suite 9 introduction videos as they will be based on Suite 9 only and won't be through the context of comparing Suite 8 and Suite 9. The first thing to know with Suite 9 is that there is no longer an app for each software. Instead, everything will be accessed on a single browser-based platform. This is an upgrade as it's much more responsive, loads faster, and doesn't require the user to switch between applications. To open Suite 9, you may have a desktop icon or bookmark set up by a JAVS technician. If you do not have one of these shortcuts and you have your recorder IP address on hand, you can type the recorder's IP address into the internet browser search bar. This will open on Suite 9's record page. The Record tab is the auto-log equivalent of Suite 9. You'll notice familiar tools as well as some new ones. I'm going to break down each part of the Suite 9 Record tab, old and new. The first thing you'll notice that is different from auto-log is that the Start button is now the Record button. To start a recording, click the Record button. Just like in auto-log, starting a session will create a session that's name is based on the date and time the session was started. The session properties can be changed later, but if you wish to start a new session and immediately enter the session properties, you can click the drop-down menu and select the New Session button. This will open the familiar Session Properties panel. This is mostly the same as auto-log, as you can set the name, type, department, parties, and upload exhibits prior to the start of the session recording. One difference between auto-log and the new Suite 9 is that when you're entering parties, you must click the Enter key on your keyboard after typing in a name, or the text will be deleted. Same as auto-log, once a session is started, the Record button will turn into a Pause button while recording. While paused, it will become a Resume button. You can end the session by clicking the End button. Another carryover from auto-log are the recording indicators. At the top right of the screen, the indicator will be static and blue while not recording, and it will turn red and spin while the system is recording. At the bottom of the screen, the circle will be blue unless you start a recording. It will then turn to red as another indicator that your system is recording. Changing modes in camera locks is very similar to auto-log. One difference is that the active mode will be highlighted as seen here. You can change the mode by clicking the arrow button attached to each mode types button, then selecting the mode you wish to activate. For auxiliary modes like presentation or conference, you can turn the mode off by clicking the main part of the button. The On the Record button is the same as Presentation OTR button in Suite 8. It can be clicked while in a presentation mode to record whatever is being presented to the official record instead of video from around the room. Cameras can be locked by clicking the arrow on the Camera Lock button and selecting the camera you wish to lock onto. The button will turn gray when a camera lock is activated. The camera lock you select will remain as the main button, allowing you to easily lock that camera without having to select it from the list again. Selecting a different camera from the drop-down menu will change which camera is set as the main lock button. You can turn it off by clicking the main part of the button. The current session's properties are displayed under the Mode toolbar. You can edit these properties by clicking the Edit icon, which will open the Session Properties window. Remember, when entering parties, be sure to press the Enter key on your keyboard after filling in the name. You can seal or unseal the session by clicking the Lock icon. To print the session log or various lists, click the Print icon. Select the information you wish to include, then follow through the standard printing process. On the left side window are 4 tabs that we call the Tool Dock. This is a new addition to Suite 9. The first is the Today's Docket tab, which is the Suite 9 equivalent of the Scheduled Today tab. It has the same functionality as the Scheduled Today tab, allowing you to add, edit, or reorder scheduled sessions. You can also start sessions by clicking the session on the list, then clicking the recording icon here. There is also a new function on this tab that I'd like to point out. The Enter Session into Log button is a new feature to Suite 9. This could be useful in scenarios where you will only need one recording for several brief cases. For more information on this, please see the Entering Sessions into Log video on the Justice AV Solutions YouTube channel. Beneath the Today's Docket tab is the Log Today tab. Like Suite 8, this tab will display all the sessions that were recorded on the current day. You can resume recording that session, review the session, or download the session to your computer, which is how you will get the JVL file that publishing used to create. The third tab is the Mode Controls tab, which is another way to change the modes. The last tab is for camera lock controls. This makes it easier to access the different cameras that can be locked. You can close any of these tabs by clicking the icon of whichever tab is open. The main center of the Record tab is for the session log and for captions if your system is licensed to have captions. Captions are covered in depth in a separate video. While recording, you can add custom events to the session log by clicking the Add button. This will open the custom log event window where you can enter the event text and mark it as private or public. You can also add notes if needed. On the topic of notes, you can quickly add notes by entering text in this text box beneath the session log area and clicking the Enter button. There is also a private button that can be clicked to make the quick note private. After making a private quick note, be sure to click the private button again to turn it off unless you wish each of the following notes to also be private. The Quick Events tab beneath the video window allows the user to enter events based on the session type. This works the same as it did in Autolog. You can change the list option by clicking the arrow and choosing from the session type. To add a quick event to the log, select the event with your cursor and click the Enter button next to that event. On the Parties tab, you can add new parties, edit or delete existing parties, and enter actions tied to a specific party into the log. To add a new party, click the Add button. Enter your party's name as well as any additional information you wish to include. This is not required, but it is available for the user. Once finished, click Save. Editing and deleting a party can be done by selecting the party, then clicking the icon for editing or deleting. For this example, we will use a petitioner. Click the Enter button, then select the action you wish to log. Then click Enter into the log. You can also print the parties list report by clicking the Print icon. The Exhibits tab works the same as it did in Suite 8, with the addition of being able to download the exhibit. While entering a new exhibit, you can either save it to the exhibits list, or you can enter it into the log. Now we'll talk about the Schedule tab. The Suite 9 Schedule tab is nearly identical to Scheduler 8. On the top, you can see the various view options available for the calendar on the Schedule tab. Views include List, Day, Week, Month, and Year. Beneath the View option is the Schedule tab toolbar. To create a new scheduled session, click the New button. From there, you can enter all the session properties like the name, title, and type of session. You can also assign parties and upload exhibits. To start a recording from the Schedule tab, click a session, then click Start Recording. The Copy button can be used to copy a session to quickly create similar scheduled sessions that have minor differences like the start time or different properties. The Edit button can be used to edit a previously created session. Reschedule can be used to change the start or end time of a session. The Delete button is used to delete a session from the calendar, and the Print button can be used to print the schedule report. Next, we'll talk about the Search tab. With Suite 9, there is no one-to-one comparison to Publisher 8. Instead, the Search tab replaces Publisher, Viewer, and the search tool from Autolog. You can search with specific criteria like session names, types, parties, and more. There are 3 other tabs within the Search tab: the Sessions, Schedules, and Parties tabs. First, we'll talk about the Sessions tab. Locating a session on the Session tab allows you to view a session, edit its properties, print reports, download it, which you can think of as being similar to publishing in Publisher 8, and you can add the session to a new schedule, or you can delete the session. Search for a session based on criteria like its name, type, date, or any other session property. You can use the filters available to refine your search. To resume recording a session, click Start Recording. To toggle the column views on and off, select Show Columns. Select a session name to view the recording. It will open a new tab in your browser where you can play the recording, add quick events, parties, and exhibits. When viewing a session, it will play on the right side of the screen in the playback window. This window will have the usual playback tools like play, pause, skip forward, and skip back at the bottom of the screen. You can also control the speed of the playback. Click the volume icon to access the volume control. On the other side of the toolbar are the Mark In and Mark Out buttons, used for creating segments, as you previously could while reviewing a session in Suite 8. Click this icon to play the segment. To clear the segment, click this icon. You can also download the segment with the download icon. Below the video window are individual channel controls. These are used for muting a specific number of channels to play back the audio of the desired channels. Clicking this button will solo the channel, meaning it will mute all other channels except for this one. The Schedule tab of the Search tab is similar to the Sessions tab. You may wish to look back at old schedules and schedule it again for a time in the future. Like the Search tab, enter your search criteria in the text box. You can use the filters available to refine your search. The Parties tab is used to quickly add, edit, or delete party information. Thank you for selecting JAVS as your courtroom AV provider. If there are specific new tools or features that you would like to learn more about, check out the Justice AV Solutions YouTube channel. You can also email suggestions for training videos to training@javs.com.